Hello guys and welcome back to Spark Conversations. We're glad you're with us and we hope you enjoy the video.
Hey guys, welcome to Brain-Freeze Mania. This is our new challenge for this week. The concept is we have 1 minute to drink as much of a Slurpee as possible. And then we're going to compare we're going to compare volumes at the end. It's going to be exciting. So with that, Jacqueline is going to be our official timer, and take it away.
Okay guys, are you ready? And go. Just gonna watch for that brain freeze burn. It'll kick in. Oh, PJ's already feeling it. And don't worry, you're 15 seconds in. 45 to go. PJ's really suffering over there. Not even halfway yet. And we're at the halfway mark. Keep going. This suffering's worth the win. Josh is handling it well. PJ's really suffering over there. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's fine.
What? You drank that much?
So PJ is definitely the clear winner here. Probably drank double what Josh drank. Good effort. Okay, here we are with round 2. So we have PJ's drink on the table as a reference for the ultimate winner. Are you guys ready? Get set, go. Two vastly different techniques happening here. The lid's off, and he's not even going for the straw anymore. We'll see if that pays off. Already suffering, and we are 20 seconds in. We gotta try harder than that. Keep going at it, Josiah. We're over halfway. You got it.
I can't feel anything coming out of my nose.
In case you didn't hear that, he said it came out his nose. Ryan's really going for it. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drinks down. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, PJ is definitely the clear winner here. And then out of this round, Josiah did win this round.
All right, guys, we are here with the winner of Brain-Freeze Mania. PJ, do you want to tell everybody what you said before all of this began?
I might lose this one.
I think you've said that in front of every single challenge, and this is another challenge that you pull the big W on.
It's not my fault. I just I just go in and I just don't think about it.
Yeah. How's your brain feeling, by the way, right now?
It's not my brain. It's like my chest.
Well, let's hope you don't have a heart attack.
Minor details.
Minor details. All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Hey guys, welcome back to Random Facts with Josh and special guest Jacqueline. The first fact that I have is outer space apparently smells like a sizzling steak. Now I want to go there to smell the steak.
Hi guys. So my fun fact is, they were trying to find a cure for AIDS. The Mayo Clinic ended up making a glow-in-the-dark cat. So if you ever want to see that, just hit up the Mayo Clinic.
Thank you. This has been Random Facts with Josh and Jacqueline.
So, guys, tonight we talked about John 19, and there's a lot of stuff that goes down in this section. But one of the big things that we talked about on Friday night was the idea of how do we trust God? How do we have faith in God when it feels like He's letting us down? When it feels like everything going on around us is falling apart? So, Joe, what What did you pull out of tonight?
Definitely for me is though, like when we go through tough times, I find it way easier to just kind of look at the things around me, like go to friends first or parents or stuff. I never like want to like crack open my Bible and something. And I know it's a horrible habit. So something I've been trying to do is, even in good times, like I just look to God, just almost create a habit. So next time I do fall into like a bad situation, it's no longer is my first instinct to go to my friends or family, but rather to try to look to God first. And I feel like just creating a good habit to begin with is something that would be extremely beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the rhythms and the habits that we set in our lives are key for how our lives play out. You know, our lives are not made out of just the big choices, but they're often built out of the small, sometimes seemingly mundane choices that we make every day. And I think when we decide to make God our first go-to in, you know, good times or bad times, it really helps us, you know, establish that as a foundation in our lives.
I just personally find it extremely difficult because like everything's going good. It's like I almost like, especially like young at like church and stuff. I just always saw God as like a backup, not as first thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have God as like their final resort. You know, there's people that have talked about, you know, if nothing else works, at least you got prayer. Almost as if prayer is like the last ditch resort. Like, oh, well, nothing else works, so I might as well pray about it. But I think when we put prayer and we put connecting to God first, it really helps us through those difficult times. But what do you do when you're in the middle of those difficult times? Because I mean, when we're in a good place, it's really easy to talk about how, yeah, we should just go to God first. But when we're in the middle of something really dark and really difficult, it often feels like almost God has left us, or like we've been abandoned by God because everything in our lives is falling apart. You know, in the story that we talked about on Friday, you know, the disciples and the followers of Jesus, they were watching their hope die on the cross. What do we do when it feels like everything we've hoped in, everything we've been leaning into is dying or falling apart and God is not there for us?
Definitely like having a good support system. So like friends and family who definitely look to God first as well, just to kind of like when you feel like all hope is lost, like they still have the hope and encouragement that they can give you and kind of be like may feel like God's abandoned you, but like he's still there, like just like trust me and stuff like that. So definitely like with the disciples, like there's 12 of them, like they had each other at all times.
Judas.
Well, yeah, minus Judas, but they like constantly had each other and like they went through the same scenarios. So it's like it's almost we just have friends. Maybe we definitely don't have the same experiences as disciples, but like we have experiences with each other.
Absolutely.
So, like, definitely understand each other on a whole different basis.
Absolutely. I think there's even a part of that in John 19 where Jesus is hanging on the cross and he looks down and he sees Mary, the woman that raised him from a young child. And he looks and he sees John and he says to John, you know, this is now your mother. And he says to Mary, this is now your son. And he creates this connection between these two people, basically, you know, giving them that community that they can rely on. Because I think sometimes, especially when things get dark in life, we feel like we're separated from everybody. We pull away from people. We withdraw, and that doesn't help anything. You know, one of the biggest things that helps us get through difficulties in life is community. You know, that's why we have stuff like youth. That's why there's church on Sunday morning, and having good friends really helps and really makes a massive difference when we're going through dark times.
Oh, it like definitely does, like huge influence. But the problem I always seem to run into is finding those people. It can be extremely difficult, like especially nowadays with like COVID and everything. Like the sense of community among churches is like so broken right now in some places. It's so difficult. Like being face to face with someone is so like different compared to just watching a video where you can like put comments and stuff. Which is why we encourage you guys to come out on Fridays. Like it's just a whole different experience for you guys. But it's just difficult.
It definitely is, and you know, I think at this point in time, we have to be creative with how we're finding that community, how we're finding that connection, and the natural default in times like this is separation. You know, we find it easier to withdraw than to force through the difficulty and make those meaningful connections, but those connections are so worth it. And so, I mean, if you're sitting there at home and you're going through this stuff, I want to encourage you, don't sit there by yourself. Don't just think that you're in this alone. connect to good community. It will change your life in wild ways.
Well, like when you mentioned last week the YouVersion Bible, like I looked into that more often too, and just like being able to have devotions with other people is
Absolutely.
like so different, and I enjoy it considerably more. Because doing like devotions by yourself, sometimes you kind of just get lazy. It's like working out. It's easier to work out with multiple people than constantly go by yourself.
Absolutely. You actually tend to grow more that way too when you're working out, because people will push you and they'll encourage you to grow more than like you feel tired, and it's easier to let yourself off the hook when it's just you.
Yeah, and just I feel like it's someone's responsibility as Christians. Like we have to reach out more. We have to be able to like build a sense of community for people that's welcoming, not just we have a community in our own little bubble. Because I feel like we do that way too often nowadays too.
I think the natural tendency for a lot of people is to create their bubble of friends or the close people, and then try and keep everybody out. It's almost like a closed ecosystem. But the thing about closed ecosystems is they often die because they don't have anything fresh or new feeding into it to give new life. And I think when it comes to to community, we need to always have our arms open and be welcoming people in. I think we need to create space where people can feel comfortable and safe to come and engage in all of this wherever they're at. And with that, I think we just want to extend the invite to you. If you're not connected to a youth group, if you're just sitting there looking for good community, we would love to have you. Come join us on Friday nights, 7 p.m. here at Full Gospel, or check us out Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Community is vital. And with that, I think we're going to say goodnight.
Hope you guys have a good night.
Have a good one.